Hey folks, time for that prepping video everybody complains about. Communications, secure communications. One of these, which could this represents ham radio, anything, any radio. I don't care if you encrypt it or not, it's not secure. Even the digital frequency hopping ones are not totally secure, for the simple reason they emit radiation. And if it emits radiation, it can be detected. So, although they may not understand what you're saying, they can use a direction finder to find your location. Therefore, anything transmitted over the airwaves is never totally secure. You will need, like if you have an observation post or something, you will need some of this stuff. That's right. Now, typical 4-stranded telephone cable. And below, I've got links to all the stuff you need from Amazon. So I found everything you need on Amazon to build what I'm fixing to tell you about. Plus, it gives you the benefit of you can go over the air or through this. So you can communicate with your neighborhood as well as between your listening post or observation post. Okay? There's a link below of 500 foot of this stuff, and it's not that much, really. It's 22 gauge, 500 foot roll of this. Okay? So what you would do is you would take your CB radio, and I've got links to that too for you lazy folks that don't want to look it up. Got links to a cheap CB radio. What you would do is that CB radio has a PA speaker output. Now, you could get some military phones, but they're getting hard to find. So, let's say the output to the radio you have in your house that goes up to your listening post, the output goes to these red and green wires. All right? Now, the speaker to that radio that you have in the house will be up at the listening post, and the speaker on the other end of the listening post would hook to this. Now, the CB radio up at the listening post, you would hook its speaker wire, the PA speaker, to the black or white and black, okay? Now, the speaker to this would be back in the house. So when you key the mic up at the listening post, they would hear it at the speaker in the house. And when the people at the house key their microphone, you would hear it in the house. So basically, you would have, unless somebody actually tapped into this wire, unless they actually tapped in, you would have a secure intercom between your listening post and the house. And this can be done with 2 CB radios and some wire. Now, below I've added links to better CBs, because in the house, you may want to have a better CB, you know, with a better antenna and better capabilities. So I've even got one linked down there to one that has sideband. So I think it's the Cobra 148 GTL. I used that in my trucking days. Nice radio. So the links to that are down there. I also put a link to an Antron 99 antenna for your base station. Remember, when you flip it to RF, you're putting out all over the place, okay? When you switch to PA, you've got a secure thing. And if you're worried about somebody tapping into your wire, well, just learn to speak in code, okay? But even when you're over the air, you may want to have codes like a certain intersection. You would give it Point Charlie or Point Bull or whatever, you know. Just make up some names for different locations so people that's listening over the airwaves don't exactly know where you're talking about. Only your small group knows where you're talking about. Also, ham radio has equipment you can hook to these things. These FRS radios, they make a soundboard, USB soundboard, where I can transmit encrypted signals over this standard little gizmo. But that'll be another video. The basic video of this is, if you want between your house and your listening post, you need to go with wire. You know, that way it does, when you key your mic, like let's say your observation post is on the roof. You know, you got a 2-story house on the hill, and somebody, you know, you got shifts, 4-hour shifts, where somebody has to sit up on the roof with a pair of binoculars and keep watch. That's their job, to sit up there and keep watch. Well, this would go between the little radio up there and the one inside the house. So, he can say, hey, we got bad guys, naked mutant ninja bikers are approaching. And it won't go out to the naked mutant ninja bikers that have CB radios on their bikes. Okay, it'll only go on this wire. So then that tells everybody in the house, hey, get your lazy butts out of bed. We got people coming that we don't need to visit. We may either have to leave in a hurry or shoot in a hurry. So this is the one way. Also, the government can't listen to your private communications. As long as the government isn't attached to the wire, they can't hear it. So for private communications, you might want to use hardwire intercom. And they still make some of those wired up intercoms too. That would work. But I put the CBs down there because they're dual purpose. They can work both ways. Might as well get more than one use out of your equipment. Of course, and then there's the ham radios. And for some reason or another, my ham radios don't have a PA speaker on them. So I guess that's where the CB kind of beats out the ham, doesn't it? So, like I say, if you want between a listening post or an observation post and your house or your compound, wire it up. I put the links below to the wire too. 500-foot roll. Let's see, just look. I just put a bunch of stuff down there so you can see what the prices are and you can go accordingly. Personally, I think you should have the sideband base station in the house. That way you and your neighbors, if you decide to use CB frequencies, which works out better for 4 or 5 miles. If you've got a good height antenna up there, even during a noisy time, CB radio can cover several miles. But sunspots get to where they knock out CB, so that's where GMRS, FRS stuff works better. And ham radio, VHF, UHF ham radio is even better because you can throw tall antennas and high wattage on a UHF ham radio and just your sunspots don't even affect it. So, let's see. That's it. Oh, man, this is too short a video. Maybe I need to talk something else. Nah, maybe next time. My political videos, I'll come back with a political one. Y'all, I know you enjoy that.